The movie opens in a grocery store, where we meet a young woman named Iris pushing a shopping cart while browsing the aisles for more items. Out of nowhere, she runs into a man named Josh. The moment Josh sees her, he's completely captivated by her beauty, and there's an instant spark between them. He tries to start a conversation, but accidentally knocks over a huge stack of oranges, making them both burst into laughter. Iris, who also serves as the film's narrator, tells us that there were only 2 moments in her life when she was truly the happiest person in the world. The first was when she met Josh at the grocery store, and the second was the day she killed him. As time passes, Iris and Josh's relationship grows, and they eventually become a couple. One weekend, they head to a lakeside cabin to spend the weekend with Josh's friends. During the drive, Iris reminisces about the first time she met Josh, describing it as the perfect moment. When they arrive at the cabin, Iris feels a little uneasy, but Josh reassures her that she's safe as long as she's with him. Kat, one of Josh's friends, warmly welcomes him, though she's noticeably colder toward Iris. They are then introduced to the rest of the group: Eli, his boyfriend Patrick, and Kat's boyfriend, Sergey. Iris immediately feels uncomfortable around them, especially because Kat and Sergey behave strangely. Later that evening, everyone gathers for dinner, and Patrick tells the story of how he first met Eli. Iris pays close attention because it reminds her of her own relationship with Josh. After dinner, Sergey casually mentions that he does all kinds of business, including activities that are illegal. Later, Iris talks privately with Kat, who admits that Sergey isn't exactly boyfriend material and that he treats her more like an accessory than a partner. Kat also tells Iris that she doesn't actually hate her personally. She hates the idea of her because Iris makes her feel like she could easily be replaced by someone younger. After everyone dances together, Iris tries to pull Josh away from Kat before returning to their room, hoping to remind him just how deeply she loves him. The next morning, Iris asks Josh to join her at the lake to enjoy the scenery, but he declines, saying he needs a little more rest. Once again, he assures her that she's perfectly safe and has nothing to worry about. Iris heads to the lake alone. After admiring the beautiful view for a while, she discovers a pocket knife in her pocket. At that moment, Sergey approaches and convinces her to sit with him for a while. As she starts applying sunscreen to his back, Sergey begins making unwanted advances toward her. She repeatedly begs him to stop, but he keeps pushing further. Desperate to defend herself, she grabs a glass bottle and smashes it over him before shoving him backward, causing his head to slam into a rock. Enraged, Sergey gets back up and tries to strangle Iris. She quickly pulls out the pocket knife and stabs him in the neck. Covered in blood, Iris rushes back to the cabin, leaving the rest of the group horrified by her appearance. Josh demands an explanation, and she tells him exactly what happened, explaining that she did it because she was terrified she would never see him again. Josh is stunned. He calmly tells Iris to go to sleep, and the moment she closes her eyes, she powers down. He immediately restrains her while everyone discusses what to do next. Josh tells Eli that they have no choice but to call the police. He then asks to spend a few minutes alone with Iris so he can say one final goodbye. Josh powers Iris back on. She wakes up frightened and confused, desperately insisting that she acted in self-defense. Josh tells her that he believes her because she isn't programmed to lie. Then he reveals the shocking truth: Iris is actually a robot designed for emotional support. To prove it, he shows her how he can control her using nothing more than his phone. Iris refuses to believe him because she's convinced that all of her memories are real, just like any human beings. Josh explains that her memories are nothing more than implanted backstory, created to give her a believable past. Even their first meeting at the grocery store was an artificial memory that comes preloaded into every robot like her whenever they're paired with a new owner. Josh then explains how they actually met. A company called Empathix delivered Iris to him in a shipping box. She's an emotional support android that can be fully customized to match the buyer's preferences, from her intelligence level to the color of her skin. All Josh had to do was initiate a romantic relationship with her, and she would become completely devoted to him, willing to do almost anything except intentionally harm humans or animals. At that moment, Iris asks Josh to stand about 3 feet in front of her so she can perform a face scan. The process used to create the memory of falling in love with her owner. While they're talking, Kat walks in and tells Josh it's finally time to shut the robot down for good. Iris is terrified because she realizes she's about to stop existing. Josh pulls Kat aside so they can discuss the best way to permanently deactivate Iris. That's when the truth finally comes out. Everything had been planned from the very beginning. Their real goal was to rob Sergei and steal his fortune, and they had used Iris as the perfect tool to carry out the scheme. Realizing she's been manipulated from the start, Iris understands just how much trouble she's in and immediately begins trying to free herself from her restraints. At that moment, Josh comes to check on Iris, but she throws a hard punch to his throat, giving herself a chance to escape. Before running away, she grabs the device that controls her. After recovering, Josh tells Eli that he made several illegal modifications to Iris, including enabling automatic self-defense and disabling the safety protocol that prevented her from harming people. Now he realizes he's in serious trouble, so he tells Eli they have to find her before Empathix does. He then reveals another shocking truth: he was the one who killed Sergei with Iris's help. Eli is stunned by the confession, but he reluctantly agrees to help. Josh takes him to Sergei's safe, where he kept all his cash, and reveals the real motive behind their plan. The money was supposed to be split 4 ways, but Josh refuses, insisting that Patrick doesn't deserve a share. Feeling insulted, Eli shuts Patrick down, revealing that Patrick is also a robot. Josh tells him to get rid of Patrick and use the money to buy a newer model instead. Eli is deeply offended and accuses Josh of looking down on Patrick simply because he's a robot. Josh offers Eli $4 million if he can find Iris in the woods, fearing that she has become a deadly threat. Eli grabs a handgun from Sergei's safe and heads into the forest after her. Meanwhile, Iris escapes into the nearby woods and starts experimenting with the control device. She increases her intelligence level from 40% all the way to 100%. The group decides to split into 2 teams to search for Iris and shut her down. However, Eli seems distracted, believing Josh has feelings for Kat. At the same time, Iris tries to figure out a way to escape without hurting anyone or getting permanently deactivated. Her first idea is to run to the main road and ask for help, but she realizes her blood-soaked clothes would terrify anyone she approached. She then considers returning to the cabin to change clothes, but worries Josh might be waiting there to kill her. Eventually, she comes up with a better plan: go back to the cabin, steal Josh's self-driving car, and escape. Just as she's about to leave, she hears footsteps and quickly hides. She overhears Eli and Patrick having an emotional conversation. Patrick admits that he already knows he's a robot after piecing together everything that's happened, remembering the first time he met Eli at a Halloween party. Eli tells Patrick that he genuinely cares about him and truly loves him. He promises he'll never treat Patrick the way Josh treated Iris. Patrick admits that he feels exactly the same way, even after discovering that he's a robot. Suddenly, Iris's phone rings, revealing her location. Eli approaches with his gun drawn, forcing Iris to run for her life. He chases her through the woods until they both tumble down a hill. During the struggle over the handgun, it accidentally goes off, and Eli is shot in the chest, killing him instantly. Iris apologizes for what happened before fleeing the scene, leaving Patrick devastated over Eli's death. Iris rushes back to the cabin and gets inside Josh's self-driving car. Josh tries to stop her, but his fingers get caught in the car door. As she attempts to start the vehicle, the voice recognition system refuses to recognize her. Using the control device, Iris modifies her voice until it perfectly matches Josh's. While Josh desperately tries to smash the car window, she finally succeeds in activating the vehicle. She orders the car to take her home, and as it pulls away, it runs over Josh's foot. Josh rushes back inside the cabin to grab his phone, then remotely disables the vehicle. The car immediately comes to a stop, leaving Iris stranded in the middle of the road with no way to escape. Moments later, Josh calls her. He tells her there's still a chance for them to work things out and tries to manipulate her emotions by claiming he still loves her and that they can be together again. But Iris cuts him off, telling him they've chosen different paths and that there's no going back anymore. After that, we see Josh running through the woods looking for Patrick, only to find him mourning Eli's death. Josh tries to convince Patrick to find Iris and bring back her control device, but Patrick doesn't respond. Frustrated, Josh uses Eli's phone to increase Patrick's aggression level to 100%. He then reactivates him, transfers full control of the robot to himself instead of Eli, and orders Patrick to find Iris and shut her down. Meanwhile, Iris is trapped inside the self-driving car. She repeatedly kicks the window, trying to break it so she can escape. After several attempts, she finally succeeds. However, Deputy Hendricks spots her. As he approaches to question her, Iris quickly switches her voice settings to German because she wants to avoid getting into any trouble with the police. Deputy Hendrik struggles to understand what she's saying, but then notices a blood-covered pocket knife lying on the car seat. He immediately places her under arrest. Just then, Patrick arrives, brutally attacks Hendrik, smashes his face, and kills him. He takes Iris's control device and powers her down. Patrick then drives the police cruiser back to the house, bringing both Hendrik's body and Iris with him. Josh is shocked to see what happened. By this point, Kat has had enough of all the killing. She decides to take her share of the money and leave. Josh tries to convince her to stay, but she tells him that Sergei's murder never needed any justification. He wasn't some powerful mafia boss like Josh claimed. He was just an abusive, misogynistic loser who made his money from the artificial turf business. Josh tries to stop her from leaving, but she refuses to listen. He realizes he can't control her the way he controls his robots, so he orders Patrick to stop her. Patrick responds by stabbing Kat in the back. Josh is horrified because he never specifically ordered Patrick to kill her. Knowing she's dying, Kat tells Josh to stop talking because she never wants to hear his voice again. She crawls over and sits beside Iris before taking her final breath. Josh and Patrick then carry all the bodies into the woods so no one will find them. Later, Josh reactivates Iris and prepares a dinner for the two of them. He mocks her, insisting that all the money in the world will never help her. He lowers her intelligence level to 0 and begins torturing her by holding her hand over a candle flame, melting the synthetic skin covering it. Then he hands her a gun and orders her to kill herself. Iris pulls the trigger, the bullet tears through her head, and she appears to be permanently shut down. Afterward, Josh contacts the company that manufactured the robots to report Iris. He falsely claims that she became a murderer out of jealousy, and eventually couldn't live with the guilt, so she took her own life. After hearing his story, two empathic employees, Sid and Teddy, assure him they'll investigate the case. Josh has dressed Patrick in a police uniform to make it appear as though law enforcement is already handling everything. However, Sid explains that they can recover everything Iris witnessed because all of her memories are stored throughout her body rather than in her brain. He adds that something as simple as a small wooden stick is enough to reboot her. Josh immediately panics, realizing they'll uncover the truth if they review her recorded memories. He orders Patrick to follow Sid and Teddy's vehicle. Sid recognizes Patrick as one of their company's robots, but it's already too late. Patrick shoots and kills Sid, while Teddy manages to escape into the woods. Patrick catches up with Teddy and tries to shoot him as well, but the gun jams. At that exact moment, Iris successfully reboots herself and arrives just in time to stop Patrick from strangling Teddy. She tells Patrick that Josh never cared about him and was only using him. Then she reminds him that the person who truly loved him was Eli, not Josh. Patrick's memories of Eli gradually begin returning, and he becomes overwhelmed with guilt over everything he's done. In the end, he grabs an electric stun baton, places it in his mouth, and kills himself. Grateful for being saved, Teddy thanks Iris. She asks him for one favor. At the same time, Josh packs up all the cash and prepares to flee. But Iris returns to confront him and reveals that Teddy has given her complete control over herself. She points a gun at Josh for everything he put her through. Josh, however, believes she still loves him and won't be able to pull the trigger. He attacks first, wrestles the gun away from her, tries to shoot her, repeatedly slams her head, and arrogantly boasts that he has always had complete control over her life. Iris looks at him and calmly says that these will be the last words he ever hears. Go to sleep, Josh. She then drives an electrical plug straight into his head, piercing his brain and killing him instantly. After everything is finally over, Iris peels away the melted synthetic skin from her arm, revealing her robotic hand underneath. In the end, she takes Sergei's money and drives away. Along the road, she spots another robot who looks exactly like her. Iris smiles and waves with her exposed metal hand, leaving the other robots staring back in complete confusion. Iris smiles because, for the first time, she's truly free. She finally has complete control over her own life. And that's how the movie ends. Thanks for watching. Don't forget that your opinion matters to us, so be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to the channel for more videos.